Jon Gruden. Remember him? Former NFL head coach, Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, succeeded Tony Dungy in 2002, won the Super Bowl. Warren Sapp was on his team. Keyshawn Johnson was on his team, along with various others, of course. So that same Jon Gruden was later an analyst for Monday Night Football for ESPN before becoming a head coach for the then Oakland Raiders, who ultimately moved to Las Vegas. If you will recall, the Wall Street Journal reported in October 2021 that Gruden used a racist term to describe NFL Union Chief DeMaurice Smith, who is black. Gruden then resigned with $100 million left on his contract the following day, shortly after the New York Times revealed additional offensive emails, some of which dated back more than a decade. Additionally, Gruden also used a homophobic term, the F word, to describe NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in another message. The messages were sent from 2011 to 2018 by Gruden to several people, including former Washington Redskins, then Washington Redskins, now the Washington Commanders, executive Bruce Allen, while Gruden was an announcer at ESPN. According to Raiders owner Mark Davis, the 2021 email leak appeared to him to be the NFL's effort to insulate Commanders owner Daniel Snyder from ongoing sexual harassment allegations that were plaguing the organization. Sources told ESPN that Snyder was hoping to deflect blame over sexual harassment allegations against himself and the team onto Allen by leaking the emails. Furthermore, ESPN reports Snyder was hoping to gain favor with Goodell by giving him ammunition against Gruden, one of his longtime critics. Snyder, who is awaiting league approval on his $6 billion sale of the Commanders to Josh Harris, is also being accused of leaking the emails to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. Of course, Commissioner Roger Goodell, through the NFL office, NFL spokesman Brian McCarthy, repeated the league's denial that Goodell had any involvement in the leak, saying, quote, neither the NFL nor the commissioner leaked Coach Gruden's offensive emails, end quote. I'm going to tell you this. First of all, I'm a fan of Roger Goodell's. I think he takes a lot of heat as the commissioner for owners and their actions. He's a big boy. He can handle it. I will say this, however. This is not an open and shut case in favor of the NFL. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Listen to the logic for this, y'all. How in the hell does emails take place from 2011 to 2018 and Jon Gruden is the one that ended up having to resign? Now, Daniel Snyder, remember, he's been forced to surrender ownership. First of all, the nation's capital wants nothing to do with him. Okay? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they consider him COVID-19. I mean, that's how bad they feel about Daniel Snyder. They think he's that kind of virus. They don't want anything to do with him. All right? And obviously, he's been gone. You've heard about him being in London and other different places, any place but the United States, because at this particular moment in time, he hasn't been able to show his face, according to numerous reports anyway. But to me, if Jon Gruden, who was working for ESPN at the time doing Monday Night Football before he ultimately became the head coach for the Oakland Raiders, who ultimately became the Las Vegas Raiders, he's sending these emails to friends like Bruce Allen and others. All of a sudden, this comes out years later, and he was the only one who fell by the wayside, and he had to surrender a $100 million contract. The bottom line is, how the hell did those emails get out? Now, if it was Snyder, then Commissioner Goodell and the NFL have nothing to worry about. But if Jon Gruden has any evidence whatsoever that those emails were leaked by somebody other than Daniel Snyder, somebody owes Jon Gruden some money. And the reason why I don't have a problem with his suit is that essentially what he's trying to do is recoup the money he was owed. Mark Davis was not thinking about firing Jon Gruden. He was on no hot seat. Jon Gruden was going to be the coach for the Raiders for years to come. Raider Nation loves Jon Gruden. So he wasn't losing that job. He was owed $100 million. And the reason why Again, I'm not supporting him by any stretch of the imagination. Okay? It's not to be supported. He shouldn't have done what he's done. He's got to pay a price. But the fact of the matter is, $100 million, and he walks away with nothing, and he can never get a job in the NFL career. Jon Gruden's career in the NFL is over. And if he wanted to coach on a collegiate level in college football, I'm not trying to be unfair or make this into a race thing, but ladies and gentlemen, at least 65 to 70% of the college football players are black. Some of them in this day and age are gay. We can act like we don't know that, but it's true. Whose home you walking into after getting caught with these emails? I'd be hard-pressed to believe that a college football program is going to want Jon Gruden, a brilliant football mind, to come into their homes, to go into the homes of kids recruiting children for their program. They're not going to believe that parents are going to be receptive to that. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen, because he's a hell of a coach and a hell of a football mind. And if he walks into your home and says he can make your son into a pro football player, you're going to believe him. As somebody who's spoken to Jon Gruden in the past, I don't hate him. I don't excoriate him. I don't wish for him to be unemployed for the rest of his life. He made a fatal mistake to his career, no doubt about it. But I believe in second chances. And me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Jon Gruden on a football sideline again at some point in his life. But I don't think it's going to happen. Some people think I'm wrong because they say Stephen A., somebody in the SEC will hire him. That's what they say. I don't know that to be true, but I'm just telling you. But I'm just of the mindset, I can't see a college football program hiring him, and there is no way in hell an NFL franchise is going to hire him. You can end that. No owner is going to bring Jon Gruden back into the NFL. So for all intent and purposes, his career is over. And that's why I can understand why he would sue. He's got to get paid somehow. He's been associated with football all his life. It's all he knows. And he knows it better than most. And this, although it's of his own volition, this egregious mistake he made, and I don't know if we could call it a mistake because it went on from 2011 to 2018 according to the emails. It is a legitimate question to find out how the hell his emails got exposed. Where's everybody else's? That is a legitimate question that requires a legitimate answer. I can't see how the NFL and everybody associated with it is going to get away with him getting nothing. Because his career has been eviscerated. Do y'all understand that what happened to him is so bad that he can't even get a job in a booth talking about football? A network can't hire him. An NFL team can't hire him. A college football program would be hard-pressed to hire him. How's he going to earn a living? This is all he knows. So I hope for the NFL's sake that they're telling the truth and they had nothing to do with this. I don't know. But I hope they're telling the truth. Because even if it wasn't Goodell, but it was somebody from the NFL office, the NFL is still culpable. Because he was owed $100 million. $100 million. If there's something that's worth fighting for, it's $100 million.